Hey, this is Joe from Citrus County Porch Life bringing you the AA word for the day of August 11th. And the words are removing the ground glass. This quote is from another piece of AA literature as Bill sees it. That book is a bunch of quotations of Bill, who's one of the founders. Dr. Bob and Bill are founders of AA. The moral inventory is a cool examination of the damages that occurred to us during life and a sincere effort to look at them in a true perspective. This has the effect of taking the ground glass out of us, the emotional substance that still cuts and inhibits it. This is, as Bill sees it, page 140. And before we get into the commentary from the Daily Reflections, it mentions step 8 by name, so I am going to read it again. For some of you people may not know which step is which. Step 8, made a list of all persons we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. The important word is became willing, because you may find on your journey of recovery that there's certain people you can't make amends to, and if you did try to do it, you might hurt them. So you just make amends to God. So here's a daily commentary, a daily reflections commentary. My 8-step list used to drag me into a whirlpool of resentment. After 4 years of sobriety, I was blocked by denial connected with an ongoing abusive relationship. The argument between fear and pride eased as the words of the step moved from my head to my heart. For the first time in years, I opened my box of paints and poured out an honest rage in an explosion of reds, blacks, and yellows. As I look at the drawing, tears of joy and relief flowed down my cheeks. In my disease, I had given up my art, a self-inflicted punishment far greater than any imposed from outside. In recovery, the pain of my defects is the very substance God uses to cleanse my character and to set me free. I know every time I read these, I say, boy, that's really important. And once you begin these steps and you get to a certain step, it doesn't mean that nothing else is ever going to happen in your life, or that I mean, even if you maintain continuous sobriety, which I have for 33 plus years, things happen and I get mad, and I have to apologize for getting mad at things. And I always say, for those of us who think themselves right, that is the worst thing. You can be right and still treat people right. You don't have to get angry and yell and scream. That justified resentment can be a killer. So, I am not an artist. But I'll tell you what I did do. Before I start to feel the benefits of Alcoholics Anonymous, I was a very voracious reader. And I let that drop. And I don't know, I felt like I had my finger in a wall socket. I felt all this energy. One of the things that I did do right away when I got sober is I went out and took 4 years of Russian so I could speak Russian. I always wanted to do that. I had the time. I wasn't drinking. I wasn't spending my time planning on which liquor store I was going to go to, or, where I'd do my drinking. Would I go out in my car and just do it out there so no one could see me? But when you give it up and you make amends, you have a lot of time on your hands. And I went back to school and I took 4 years of Russian. And the one thing with that is it's use it or lose it. And I don't have anyone down in Florida to speak Russian to, except online. And I can read it. But you never know what's going to happen in AA. You never know where you go, how things will turn out. They turned out the better for me. I went back to, well, besides going for the Russian, I went back to formal school, got a degree in nursing and became a neurosurgery nurse. So you never know. That wasn't on my agenda when I was drinking, that, someday I'm going to stop and become a nurse. And that's helped me my whole life, and I still maintain my license at this ripe old age of mine. So I wish all of you a very safe Sunday. I'll be going to church. It's not far, it's just a drive up the road. And I did have something planned, but I can't think of it now. I always try to get ahead a day on these, so I'm always taping them the day before, so that in case I want to lay in bed like on a Monday morning, I don't have to get up and say, oh, I didn't tape that, because I got it taped. So if you liked it, subscribe and hit like. I will make the best effort to get this out to you every day. And if you don't have any AA literature, this is an alternative. I try to mention all the texts so that you can write them down. And if you get a chance to go to a meeting and you're thinking, well, I'd like to see what that book looks like. They might have it there for a visitor. Some meetings give out their literature. Some have a drawing. It's not much of a drawing. When someone's been there 40 years, they take their ticket out. So there's a good chance that the newcomer will get a book. And it's a wonderful thing to sit down with the big book, 12 Steps and 12 Tradition, as Bill sees it. Lots and lots of books. So I hope tomorrow's nice. It's getting dark here and the sun is going down again over the Gulf. Have a safe Sunday, and I will see you Monday.